President Shahabuddin to please come forward and please give a warm welcome.
First fundamental question is why establish a new university? Why establish the Aga Khan University? So it's all about knowledge. Knowledge that is relevant to the societies where we operate, where we live. Knowledge that can be applied to improve the quality of life of the Jamaat and of the communities that we serve. Let's talk about the future. And as I said, the future is not a distant dream. These are plans that have been in the works for many, many years now. So we are very happy to announce, to report that Hazrat Imam graciously and our board have approved the start of the undergraduate programs, which will be social sciences, a program in social sciences, humanities, and natural sciences. And the purpose is to prepare the next generation of leaders. And this program will have the same transformative impact that nursing had in AKU or in Pakistan from 40 years back.
I'd like to take a deeper dive into the next 40 years or 80 years, but before I get into that, President, forgive me, but I'd like to put you in the hot seat.
I am on the hot seat.
You're in the hot seat. So the way this will go, President, is I will say a word or a short phrase, and perhaps you take 15 seconds to respond to that short word or phrase as it relates to AKU. And to the audience, President Shahabuddin has no idea what words I'm going to throw at him. Can we get started? So I'll go easy. I'll start off easy. Breaking boundaries.
I mean, it's Hazrat Imam's vision that the global Jamaat and all of us have to act upon. So without a vision, you cannot have action.
Nairobi.
Beautiful.
Climate change.
Difficult.
Media.
Civil society. Truth. Honesty.
Medicine.
Discovery.
Arusha.
Arusha is a vision. It's still a vision.
And success.
AKU.
Great. Thank you for your applause. So in June 2022, Technology Times Pakistan published a media article, so this is not too long ago, with the header, AKU to be first institution to become carbon neutral by 2030.
Yes.
That's 8 years from today. And then you gave an exclusive media interview with the News International in September 2021, right when you were appointed by Maulana Hazrat Imam. And in that interview, you outlined several steps that are being taken by AKU to become carbon neutral by 2030. And you even showed a slide with Prince Rahim stating the same. Among those steps you mentioned reduced emissions from anesthetic gases from surgery, emissions from hospital waste disposal, and even investing in clean energy. Can you expand very briefly on those activities and AKU's overall plan to undertake such an ambitious initiative?
Thank you, and that's such an important question. So first, I think I would like to respond by saying that climate change or dealing with climate change is not something that an institution can do on its own. You need to partner and collaborate with external stakeholders. So for example, and in that interview I talked about supply chain as well. So if you look at it, we need to work with our suppliers to understand what kind of packaging materials that they are using, what are the transportation methods that they are using. We have to work with the Ministry of Energy, the Ministry of Environment, to frame policy and to advise on policy. So there are a lot of things that happen outside the university.
So President, we live in a very fragmented society based on one's political perspective, religious or even tribal affiliation. And some of these forces can have a very powerful effect on modern science, on medicine, public health, and even research. Let's just take vaccinations, for example. They were politicized at this time during the pandemic. So how do you navigate these forces in a pluralistic society while also striving to maintain AKU's edge as a leading research institution?
So there are multiple aspects to your question. First, I think we have to abide by country regulations wherever we live. That's the first thing.
President, you spoke in your presentation about health sciences. So what is AKU doing with respect to genetics, space medicine, artificial intelligence, disease prevention, preventing the next pandemic?
So, great question. AKU has access to tons of data. Imagine it's 2 million patients a year, and our data is pretty secure. It's kept, and now we are migrating to electronic health records in Nairobi and then in Pakistan and Dar es Salaam and elsewhere. But our data is quite secure. So we have the data. We now are bringing in data experts. So we have someone who works with us from Canada, Farhana. She's our chief data officer, and she started mining that data for us. We are doing partnership projects and research projects with, for example, University of Michigan, which is a Michigan and an AKU project in Nairobi, and this is based on artificial intelligence and on big data, and this is to predict healthcare issues before they rise. So that's where we are going. This is a $6.5 million NIH-funded grant, which is quite a competitive grant. So again, the work has started on that. We are not there yet by any means, but this is the next frontier: big data and artificial intelligence and so on.